football just as much as I do, so that's our fault. That's what we do, man.
So are you on the sideline or are you up in the booth?
Yes, sir. I'm on the sideline.
Okay. Yes, I didn't think you were up beside us. I know the radio booth is right beside where the coaches are. And so our second question from Doug says, who was the athlete that you looked up to most when you were growing up? So he's kind of sticking on the same.
Gotcha. All right, well, if Coach Sidnor did too, I'll do too. In baseball, it was probably Pudge. I caught, and Pudge had a hose, man. So I always looked up to Pudge. And in football, when I was younger, it was Junior Seau.
Yeah.
I like to hit people, and when I was younger, I played linebacker, and Junior Seau was the dude at the time. Now, eventually, it was Ray Lewis. I'm a huge Miami fan, so Ray Lewis is like a legend. Yeah,
working the U.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, I actually walked right by Pudge Rodriguez and Elizabethan a couple years ago.
Wow.
When I was broadcasting for the Pirates. Yeah. His son was a pitcher for the Elizabethan team.
Yep.
He hit the Pirates that night, and we got beat 3-0. So I remember that game pretty well. But yeah, I walked right by him.
Man, he's a shorter guy. Actually, he's not as big as I don't know if you don't get to meet too many professional athletes, but when you do, they're usually like much larger than TV portrays. But he's a little smaller.
And we have a rare Ask Cats question from Coach Christ. So he didn't make the show tonight because he's had a prior event he had scheduled. And he says, for Coach Mabe, who is the best CrossFitter on staff?
Oh, man. This is digging deep.
First of all, we got to know who all does CrossFit.
So Coach Chris, Coach Blackburn, and myself always go, and we CrossFit every morning. And we tried to get Coach Sidnor to come. We can't get him out of bed. But yeah, we go work out at 6 a.m. And the best on staff, I'm gonna have to give in. Coach Chris usually gets us anytime we pick up a barbell. Now, Coach Blackburn, I would say, I don't know. I think Coach Blackburn maybe can clean and jerk more. I think he's got him now in clean and jerk. But a longer Metcon, Coach Chris with a barbell, he's a stud. But if it's any cardio, I'm going to dominate both of them.
So
any cardio, I got him.
Well, I know why Coach Sidnor doesn't go out on Saturdays to work out. He's working out the other 6 days. Right, I got to take up for him a little bit. Right? All right, now let's go back to the hobbies question. You've had time to
hobbies. I guess I like to travel. Anytime we get a chance, my wife and I, we like to travel around. We just got back from D.C. last week, and we had our bye week was last Friday, or the Friday before Chilhowie. So we went to D.C. real quick. I'm a history guy. I teach history.
Oh, yeah.
So I like to see the monuments and stuff. So I would say travel, biggest hobby. Other than that, most of my hobbies deal with sports some way or somehow.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Same way. So our final question here, of course, we're in October. Halloween's getting close. What is your all-time best Halloween costume?
All-time best Halloween costume is Leonardo, man. I'm a Ninja Turtle guy.
Okay.
It's a Leonardo, yeah. Love the Ninja Turtles.
Do you have any
swords? No, I don't have a sword. That'd be dangerous. I don't think my wife trusts me with a sword. I don't trust myself with a sword. I'd hurt something or somebody. It'd be bad.
Well, Coach Mabe, I'm glad you were able to join us.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Sports Chat. So, hope good luck.
Thank you.
The rest of the way and get a big win over Abingdon.
Absolutely. I hope so.
That game will be the 87th meeting between the Cats and the Falcons. So let's take a commercial break as we'll thank Coach Mabe for joining us. We'll have Cooper Gobble joining us after the break here on Bearcat Sports Chat.
Bearcat Sports Chat will be right back after a word from our sponsor. Listen to Virginia High School football on your computer or mobile device at Spreaker.com/Bearcat Radio. Bearcat Radio is brought to you by State Line Motors. Visit State Line Motors on Euclid Avenue in Bristol.
Okay, forest animals, kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow, have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. River, how's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man.
I love it. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. Okay. Squirrel.
The Forest has been preparing just for you. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Dustin Lynch. You don't have to listen to country music to know that life can be full of drama. Some of it you just can't control, like your girlfriend running out on you with your best friend. But there's some drama that you can skip.
Skip the drama that comes with not having your high school diploma or equivalency. Find free adult education classes near you and finish your diploma. Visit finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org.
You just need to take that first step and find free classes near you and start moving towards a brighter future and even your college degree.
Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Follow Bearcat Radio on Twitter with the handle @VHS Bearcat Radio and on Facebook by searching Bearcat Radio for the upcoming broadcast schedule and shows on the flagship stream of Virginia High School athletics.
Welcome back to Bearcat Sports Chat. Dylan Hutton now joined by Cooper Gobble, and Cooper, junior linebacker, and also play a little bit of offense on the other side of the football. And thank you for joining us, first of all.
Thanks for having me.
So let me see. So it seems like you're always, whenever you're on defense, it seems like you're always around the football. We talk about this during the broadcast. Is that just from scouting, you think, or is it just being at the right place at the right time?
I think it just starts with the reads. I mean, just seeing the guard tackle able to flow and following it, trusting it.
So being halfway through the season, like most of your teammates, you play both ways and get very few breaks on Friday nights, so it'll wear you down along the way. How much better condition do you feel like you are now than that you've been able to experience 5 games?
I think the first game was rough, being in there the full game, mostly the full game. But after that, it feels like it slowed down a little bit, especially in the second half of games. It's cooler, not breathing as hard, So I think it's coming along.
Yeah, I know the Tazewell game, it was so hot, and we got out 30 to whatever so early. It felt like, it was all ours at that point, and then they kind of stormed back. But, I feel like the control as far as the guys who have to go on and off, just kind of, I think it helps that you're not the only one and that, Colton's not the only one. No. But the only one who really gets a break is Jamie, whenever it goes on and off the field. So perks of being a quarterback, right?
Yeah.
So you were at Abingdon last year when you knocked off the Falcons in your career. Where does that game rank for you? Last year we had a lot of big wins, so where would that one rank?
I think last year was our best win, honestly. The best game I've watched and been a part of in a long time. So I'd probably rank that game number 1, honestly.
Yeah, I think that one, maybe Marion, the first one, not the last one, the last game of the season when they were undefeated. But, is there any plays that stand out to you in that game?
In that game, the last play, whenever the running back just didn't even touch Dean and he runs in, sacks quarterback, wins the game. And honestly, that's probably the only one I can remember. But I'd say that last play is the one that sticks in my brain the most.
So let's talk a little bit about the Abingdon game. We heard Coach Mabe say that the game was almost like a rivalry game. Where do you rank this game as far as rivalry status?
I'm not going to go as far as Mabe. I think Tennessee High is definitely above this one, but it's right up there with it. It's a close second.
Why do you feel like the Abingdon game is second, not John Battle for that matter? There's not really a lot of beef with Battle, It's kind of it's a chill game, I guess, and especially with Abingdon where I go to church, it's on the Abingdon side, so it's always fun to either I get trash talked after the game or I get to trash talk them, so it's kind of fun to brag a little, I guess, after the game if we win. We'll hope that Sunday's a good day for you.
Yeah.
Wear an orange tie to church, man. So since we are into October and we asked Coach Mabe about the Halloween costumes, can you give us a couple of your best Halloween costumes that you've had?
I don't remember a lot of Halloween costumes. I remember I had a Transformers one year. I was Optimus Prime.
Oh, man.
Last one I remember ever doing was I just had this, goblin mask, and I couldn't breathe in it. I was stressing out about that the whole night, but I don't remember a lot. I've had a Batman one. Batman for Coach Reese, for Coach Sidnor, yeah. But
you got the seal of approval for at least one of them.
Yeah. That's all I can remember about my Halloween costumes, honestly.
We're ranking 3 of them. That was pretty good. 3 pretty solid ones. What do you think of the Goblin one with the plastic kind of melting to your face? Don't know. So you're part of the offensive line, too, and talk about the offense a little bit. What's it like being part of that group? You've got some pretty funny guys. I know Dante's on the offensive line. We always like talking to Dante. But what's it like being a part of that group?
I definitely think we're a really tight-knit group. We all go through the same stuff, We're all willing. We all have to go through the shoots and all that together, push through the hard stuff. It's funny sometimes. It's also really hard a lot of the times as well. I mean, especially moving to right tackle this year, that's been an adjustment in itself. But it's been a good adjustment and glad to help the team out. And it's been great to be with those O-line, especially getting closer with Dingus since we both play stack end. He's my right guard. So
yeah. So what would you say about having your old offensive line coach being now in charge of the entire offense? So having Coach Belcher move from being at the offensive line solely and now in charge of the entire offense, does he still kind of control you guys a little bit? Or is
not really, no. Price mostly took over the O-line. I like Belcher as an offensive coordinator. I think he's doing a good job. And he's let Price take care of the O-line, so it's been good in my opinion.
Another offensive question here for you. What's it like blocking for the running backs that we have this year? Aaron and Stevie, for what those guys can do.
I mean, it's sometimes it's difficult just off where the placement of the defensive line is, but especially on stretch, if I can't reach the guy and I can just have to take him out, they're good with the Mike and Stevie are good with the reads and just cut it up. So I mean, you don't have to worry about getting the perfect block all the time.
Yeah, those guys, if you miss a block and Aaron's coming through full speed, sometimes you can get away with it, right?
Yeah.
Makes it a little bit easier. It's hard to bring down Aaron. I think everybody's figured that out at this point. So do you have any non-sport hobbies or talents?
Honestly, I'm mostly around sports, but it's either because I'm around sports, a hobby is mine is in the weight room. I'm always in the weight room, it seems like, or I guess the only other thing I do is besides homework is video games. I mean,
what game are you playing?
Mostly it's Siege. Nobody really plays that, but it's one I was
about to hear a Fortnite.
Yeah, I hate Fortnite. I hated Fortnite.
Not a big Fortnite guy.
No.
So Siege.
Yeah.
Okay. So who's your favorite person to tackle when you're playing on defense? This is always a pretty good one.
My favorite what?
Person to tackle when you're playing defense.
Like team or like person?
Team.
I don't know. I mean, it's good to hit everyone. I mean, I definitely think getting tackles against Tennessee High is the most thrilling. Getting sacks are the best, or tackles for big loss are the best, definitely.
I was thinking more so within practice. So
within
who's your
practice?
favorite guy, on your team to tackle?
Oh, gosh. It's got to be Gage. I love hitting Gage. I always gun for him.
And then on the flip side, who's the least favorite person to tackle?
Definitely Aaron.
Yeah,
definitely Mike.
That's been the consensus since we started doing the broadcast. Has been Aaron is impossible to tackle at times. So, what do you expect the environment to be like Friday night? We're starting off against Abilene, and we have another big home game on Thursday night the next week. So, what do you expect it to be like at the Gene?
Oh, it's going to be. It's always energetic over there, and with them. I think it's just going to be crazy to start off with, but things will cool down eventually. So we just got to weather that first little bit and get to where it smooths out.
Let's see, I'm waiting to see if any of these guys, if Jamie had a question. I think Jamie was going to submit a question, but I'm not seeing he's not paying attention.
I don't know.
I'm not seeing anything. These guys have let me down. Don't have any questions? Colton has a question. He needs to tweet it in real quick. All right, we'll have a question coming in here in just a second for Cooper. So, where do you feel like where can this team finish from what we've seen so far through the first 5 games? Where's the goals at? Have they even changed?
I think last game, like Coach Mabe said, we just didn't have energy, and I think this week we've brought that energy back. So I think we're back to just the fundamentals, playing fun, having fun, playing fast. I think the first 3 wins, that's what we did. So I think we just have to get back to that. So I think we're heading in the right direction right now.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are talking about